Hello, I'm Kira Weston, a senior biology major from Memphis, Tennessee, and today I'll be telling you about why you should sign a petition to stop creating plastic. A little background on plastic. Plastic is made of a compound called BPA, and BPA is a synthetic compound that was formed in a lab. It is the main component of plastic. BPA is in adhesives, glues, dyes, colors, all of that. BPA is in there. It's every human has been in contact with BPA or is currently in contact with BPA in this moment. BPA was the synthetic material that they created in response to the need for materials to create weaponry and machinery for World War II. And so that was the idea of creating plastic. A lot of materials that were used during World War II were plastic materials, and it was to cut down the cost of using regular materials for it. After the World War ended, those plastic companies still needed means of having funds, and so what they did was they turned to making consumer products, which are like combs, toys, shoes, clothes. They made things that people would regularly buy, and that made plastic so cheap that everyone could buy plastic because it was that cheap. That was the reason why they used it for World War II. And so with plastic being so cheap, it was spent everywhere. Everyone's buying plastic, but no one really realizes that plastic doesn't go away. Plastic is the one material, every piece of plastic that's ever been made still exists today. The most commonly produced plastic is single-use plastic, which is the most things that you see in landfills like water bottles, toothbrush, toys. Single-use plastic are plastics that only are be used one time. And that comes to a lot of the plastic that comes to being a lot of the plastic that's in landfills or that fills up the oceans and stuff. And a prime example of garbage that has filled up the ocean in plastic would be Midway Atoll. Midway Atoll is an island I think it's a little bit larger than Texas, and it is an island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean made entirely of garbage. Midway Atoll, like I said, is bigger than the state of Texas, made entirely of garbage, and majority of its mass is underwater. Midway Atoll has 2 bird populations, and that is about 2 million birds, and it actually houses 70% of the albatross. For my bird watchers watching this, it is actually home to 70% of the albatross population, which is 70% of the world albatross population. Let me make sure I say that. 70% of the world albatross population, which is a big deal considering how majority of those birds are kind of on this extinction list because of plastic and of habitat destruction. Habitat destruction and habitat degradation due to plastics. And so a lot of people don't know that Midway Atoll is bigger than the state of Texas. People know there's a garbage island floating in the Pacific Ocean, but they don't realize that every hurricane, tsunami, or wave washes up more trash to the beach, and more of those birds eat that trash. There has been in the video description below this, there'll be a link to a lot of the articles where you can see that these birds have actually been eating this trash, thinking that it's food. They eat the trash and the fish. That's their diet on this island. Also in the link description below will be a petition to sign that stops the production of single-use plastic. And what that means is that we recycle the plastic that we have currently on our planet, because it's destroying the environment in more ways than just killing animals. This plastic sits there and it accumulates the heat, and this plastic puts off carbon monoxide in the air, which is also helping with keeping this heat trapped in our atmosphere. Please sign the petition below to stop the creation of single-use plastic, so that way our planet can get back to the way it should be. Thank you.